You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Taking over again. Yes, Harry's wife doing what she does. Taking over again. Harry's wife taking over again. Sung to the tune of Love Will Tear Us Apart, but it's certainly a refrain that you could repeatedly sing should Harry's wife make an appearance near you. She believes that she's being supportive. She believes that she's being helpful and caring. But her narcissism just takes hold of those thoughts and feelings for the purposes of driving her to take over anything that she's involved in. We perhaps saw the most blatant example of her in a piece of footage which I dissected just recently, where at a particular unnamed event, Harry is talking to a group of men and she just basically takes over, suggests that she speaks, walks in front of him, engages with all of the individuals with her back to Harry, leaving him looking like the spare that he always moans about being, hands clasped desperately together, looking on, an individual edged out once again by his handler wife. Harry was, of course, provided with the Invictus Games as something for him to put his name to and become involved in. And in fairness to him, he has embraced the concept wholeheartedly since its inception, I think in 2014. He's genuinely interested in the competitors, and he's good at engaging with them. We've seen footage of him as he exhibits his emotional empathy towards them. But then along came his wife, and her narcissism couldn't help but tell her, make this all about you. Now, of course, she doesn't stand there and think, I need to make these games all about me. Instead, her narcissism is more subtle. It suggests, wear this so people can see it. Make sure that you walk at the head of this group marching along. Make sure that you're in a position to be able to say a few words. Turn up late and talk about the fact that you wanted to ensure that the children were put to bed and that they were given milkshakes, etc. Thus, although she doesn't realise it, she takes things over, making it all about her. If you were to sit her down and say, right, madam, every event that you become involved in, you take over. She will give you a startled look, and she will think, what are you talking about? Because she doesn't see that she does it. She just thinks that she's being supportive, that she was being a good mother and it was fair enough that she turned up late. She doesn't see the hypocrisy when you point out to her, right, so you were a supposed good mother that turned up late, but not such a good mother that you then decided to go to Portugal for a few days there afterwards. Well, I deserve a break. I'm very hard-working. What, doing an hour a week for Archwell? Oh, I do far more than that. Whatever you would point out to Harry's wife, her narcissism would repeatedly swat it away like a parrying sword blow in order to protect her from the challenges that you'd be throwing at her. Similarly, if you were to point out, look, you arrived late at the games, made it all about you, made a speech, it's not your event, talked about what you'd been doing rather than the competitors, ensured that you were followed around by Meeson Harriman, who then released photos of you, black and white photos, when it's not meant to be about you. You wore various different fashion items which had to be commented upon. Here you are marching at the head of a number of veterans. Here you are getting yourself in on a group hug with Harry and another competitor. Exhibit A, B, C, D, all the way through the alphabet so that you go back to double A. Look at all of this. She won't see it because the narcissism simply blinds her to it. It will always provide her with an explanation and an excuse as to why she did what she did. It doesn't enable her to understand that this is her taking over an event again. And she's doing it once more. Zoe Forsey in the Mirror reports, Harry's wife has voiced a new video highlighting the incredible work of an organisation that provides housing for military families. The Duchess narrated a video for the Fisher House Foundation, a long-term supporter and premier partner of Prince Harry's Invictus Games. In the clip, which was screened at an Invictus seminar, Harry's wife can be seen meeting with families who have benefited from the organisation, sharing hugs as she heard their stories. In effect, it's just another PR video. Here's Harry's wife meeting people at the Harry's Wife Games, exhibiting her facade and controlling people through hugs. Over clips of injured veterans using sport to work through their injuries, Harry's wife says, "What does recovery mean to you? For some, it means reclaiming their narrative, revolutionizing your mindset. It's a change that's not only physical, it's mental, emotional, social." Note use of reclaiming the narrative. Ah, yes, trotting out her stock phrases. She carried on with her beige word salad with "The Invictus Games shows that this growth is about more than what meets the eye. The spouse coordinating doctor visits, the children celebrating milestones, the mother, father, fellow veteran, the friend. There is a community near and far, surrounding servicemen and women when they deploy and long after they come home. Healing does not happen alone. It takes a village, and it's for the village. And one of the most essential parts of the process is having people surround you who understand, to grow as one unit, to achieve limitless potential. To remind us, above all else, in this international family, no one gets left behind, because this is Invictus. We are Invictus together. Fisher House provides homes for military and veteran families to stay in while their loved ones are undergoing treatment in hospital. The centres are based on new military hospitals and mean families don't have to worry about money and travel logistics. Accordingly, Harry's wife gets involved in a video. Her narcissism tells her that she's doing it for the purposes because she cares, because she's compassionate. But we know, because she's a narcissist, she's just doing it to make her look good. This is meant to be Harry's baby. Now, there were some who say, well, it's good that his wife's being supportive. But what you have to understand is that as a narcissist, it's the appearance of support, but it's always being done for her ends. Where was she when she was meant to be a supportive wife when Spare came out? Why wasn't she being supportive sitting there in the background whilst he was being interviewed, or at least being seen and out with him? The reason being, her narcissism determined it was better to let him hang out to dry. You see, her concept of support is completely different to that of a non-narcissist. Her concept of support, although she does not realise this, is governed by the absence of emotional empathy and the needs of the prime aims. I can see it because I know what she is. You can see it because you now know what she is. But she can't because her narcissism blinds her to it, and it just drives her to take over again. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.